Now here we have this small application here. It shows just the list of users where we have the age, the sex, the name, and the age. This is a list, as you can see here. Let me show you first what is there. So first of all, if we go to PubSpec YAML file, I have used Faker just to generate fake data. I have used collection Ext. We use it later, but we haven't because we need an indexed map. And for that, I have prepared everything. On this side, I've cleaned up everything here. And on the home page side, I prepared the fake object, and I've prepared the list of users. And here I have generated 50 users where I have used faker person name, faker random generator to generate between these two, male and female, and faker random generator to generate integers between 90 and 7 as the age. With that, I've come up with a list view builder where I've put the number of users as the int count, and then I've built the user here with the list style where I've shown the title as the username, and the leading I've put it in the circle avatar where I've put the user sex, and the trailing I've used the user age. That's what you've seen here. Now, what we want next is to have a table. Yes, we have a table, but what I want is a table with the header there. You can use a table, any table with the header, but the header should not scroll as we scroll up and down. The header should remain visible. You will tell me about the packages for that. Yes, like data table and whatever, but they are very much complicated, sophisticated with many features that we may not need at that moment. So I want to show you how to make a simple table with the header that does not scroll and with the rest that scrolls. We'll do it all together. So let's start. Here, I will create an object, a dot file, and name it fixed header table. Okay, fixed header table. We will make it fixed stateless. Okay, let's make it stateless. Fixed header table, and let's import some of these things. Now, at this point, we start together just preparing, and we grow at the same time. So I will use the table here, and in here let's just remove this list view builder. Instead of removing completely, let's comment it first. We may be referring to it. Fixed fixed header table. It wants me to put it in a const. Okay, let's me use the const first. We'll look at it later. So here everything is okay. We have a fixed header table which has nothing in it, just the table. The first thing that we want is okay. Let's first remove everything that is down here. We don't need them. This okay. Okay, so what we have here is the few items concerning the table. We are told that the column width, the first column will be flexed with at least the width of 1, and the second one the width of 1, the last one. But what I want, because we have the first column will be the column for the name, the second column will be the column for the sex, and the last one will be the column for age. The first one will be bigger than the others. So what we are going to do is maybe change first these to, let's say, 0.7, 0.5. Actually, let's put 7 for the age, and maybe let's put 4 in the meantime for the sex. This is what we will have, but it will not show here because we have not added anything. That's the table here. So let's add the children. Here, actually, let's also add another one for the index. This other one for index will be fixed. Fixed column width, and we put it at 50. 50 pixel. So we have, okay, they suggested is one better, good. And what is this? Now, what we will have is, let's copy this one here. Let's first fix this issue. Let me see. Table. Table is also inside the text row. Okay. Okay. Let's put this other one here, and again this one here. Good. Good. Now let's change this one to 6. And age. So we have our table here. You see, age is a little bit bigger than sex, but I can see that even age is very big. I don't want it to be very big. Let's put it 5 and sex at 3. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay. Well, we will change later when we are going to see how it will look. Good. Now, as you can see, this is good. This is good because we have the table here. Now, as you can see, this table, if we add other rows, table rows here, it will not make any sense at all, because it will be just one table with many rows, and then if we scroll them, they will be scrolling together, something like that. Now, at this point, let me wrap this table inside a column. Why do I want to have it inside a column? Because I want to have two tables put together inside the column. Let's check. Good. Because the first table, I will use it as the header, and the second table, I will use it as just the rest of the row or the content, or let's call it rows. Okay, so I will have one table for rows and one table, and as you can see, there are two tables put together. Good. Now, let's start porting this information. The first thing here is that, as you can see, I have repeated this information here of column width for the first table and column width for the second table. So I want to unify to have one property for column width that will be used by both tables. In this case, I will port this one here. It is a map. So I come in here and call the final map. Okay. And I put it there. As you can see, I can then move this to home. See, they want it here. Okay. And here, what I will do is simply call the column width. And I will do the same down here. Column width, column width. So we have the unified column width for both. We have the unified column width for both table. So if we change the size of a column on one side, it will change on the other side at the same time. It's okay. Okay. And then next thing that we are going to do is we are going to port also the header. So the content of the first table. The content of the first table here, we are going to use it as the header. And as you can see, it is just the table row. So I will come back here and say final table row header, and pass it in here. Okay, and oh, the first table is here. Okay, and get this table row, come back here, and say table. It's a header. Header. I put the table row there. I put the table row. Then they tell me that it's not supposed to be in a constant. Okay, let me tell them to put constant when wherever it fits. Okay, so I have the table row moved from the inside the fixed header table to the outside. So I will replace everything here. It's called the header. Okay, it's called the header. I put it there. Now, as you can see, we have the header ported. And we are going to do the same thing with the rest of the row. You see the rest of the row, which is here. This time it is not the table row, but it is the list of table rows. So we will take the list of table rows, fixed, final, list of table rows. I will call it table rows. Yes. And I'm going to copy remember the table here. Okay. Let me just get this one here. And here it will simply be rows. Okay, I go to this one here. The header is already there. Now for the rows, I will get the user up here. This list that we prepare here, we map it with indexing. We map it with the indexing. Users dot map indexed. You see the importance. Then I will say to list. And inside here, the first item is the index. The second item is the user. and I import it, and then inside I return that table. Okay, come back to this one here. Okay, okay, let's see first before we change anything. Yeah, good, because we copied that thing from the other side. So now let's start. The first thing, the font weight cannot be this big. Let's put it at 4. And here it's not the number, actually it is the index. We are going to use the I plus 1. We use the I plus 1, and it cannot be inside yeah, a constant. And we go to this one here. Also, it cannot be 7. Let's put it to 4. That's the name, the username. User name. It cannot be also inside a constant. And this other one, let me remove the constant already. And it is user sex. And the last one, it is user dot age. Age, push it to string, and const. Now, here is what we have. We'll work on this thing down here later. Now, as you can see, it's okay, but here the list and this one here should not be centered. In fact, this one here should be left on the left and this one on the right. So for the name, it's just simple. We remove the center. For the name, we remove the center. And for the sec, this one here, for this one, we replace the center but by align. Align. And the alignment, we use alignment center right. So what do we have? Good. Now we have noticed that here the age is centered here, but I also want to use the same thing. Align, alignment center right. Good. Good. Now let's resolve this thing. To resolve this thing, all we have to do is, as we have two tables inside a row, this table then should be growing, should be capable of growing. We put it in the expanded. Yes, we have solved it, but there is an issue. We are not able to scroll because, as you can see here, the number of generated items is 50, but here we are able to see only 20. So let's scroll. It is very simple because as we have separated them, it's just a matter of putting the table inside the single child scroll view. And there we are. We have a table with a header table that can scroll the rest of the rows, but the header will remain visible. And there's a lot of things that we can do on this thing, but I don't want to go very far with it because the purpose was to showcase a situation where we can use a simple table to have this feature here. No fancy things, nothing that complicated. We just need this simple table here that shows the list, but the header is fixed. I hope you have enjoyed this, and I will put this sample. I will put it on my GitHub, and I will leave the link below so that you can go and visit it. Thank you very much.